How's it? Today is Friday, April 5th. Big Friday today. It went pretty okay. I think a lot of things were better than the snatches were on Monday. And my clean jerks they were there. Today I basically worked up to 103 on the snatch, which is the most I've snatched this year. I did 102 last week, Saturday, which at the time was the most I snatched this year. And I went to 128 today for the clean jerk. I kind of did 1.5 reps of the jerk. It wasn't great. I had like a press out on the first set. I failed the second one because my foot slipped, and then the third one was really good. But at that point in the session, I was already like mostly like mentally over what I was doing today. I mean, my snatches, the warm-ups were honestly good. They're very good. I was very happy with how they're moving. I was very happy with how quick I was getting under the bar and then keeping my arms as long as I could. You know, I was trying to not have Monday happen again, where I think a lot of my issues with Monday was, or could have been fixed with a small little technical reminder to just pull the bar in closer to me. Like I'm doing the motion over here, you can't see it, but basically like pull my wrists up, lift through my wrists is what I always like to say, or like push your knuckles down. I think if I had that in my head on Monday, I don't think I miss most of those lifts, just because that's like one of those things that happens. Like, look at that was really solid, right? That's one of those things that you can just kind of tack on at the end of like lifts, like some like technical thoughts. Look how solid that is. I mean, that's only 80, but still, like 80s around that area where it gets to be not as crisp, not as fast as everything goes, but 90, that was a really good 90 there. I've missed 90 a couple times in the last weeks, so that's not a great sign, right? Went to 100 here, and yeah, it is what it is. It looked like that. But I was like, okay, if I make 100, I'm going to go to 103. I wasn't sure what I was going to do from the start of the lifting because how bad Monday was. And I was like, all right, like if I do 100, then like I'm going to give myself an opportunity to go up. If I miss 100, then I'm going to stay at 100. But I missed the first 2 reps of snatch here at 103. I think that these are all makeable. They're obviously not makes, but they're all definitely doable. Like, that's a lift there. If you pause that, there's no reason why I wouldn't be able to hold on to that one. But this here, that's probably better than the 100 was. And then Tavri's in the front, just like, he's like, all right, like what next? And I was just like, yeah, I don't know, like I'm like done with this. But I was really frustrated with the first couple efforts that I gave at 103. So like it was very redeeming to be able to lift it the way that I did on that last one. Moving into clean jerks here. I'm doing that silly like squat jerk to warm up. I think it does help tremendously to keep my dip straight. I know I talked about it on Wednesday, but yeah, I do it again here. And I also do the same warm up that I did last Saturday, which is 60, 100, and then I went to 125. So I'm going 60, 100, and then 128 with the squat jerk in there. I think I didn't really finish what I was saying for the snatch, but like at extension, the idea that I'm pulling like with my wrists or pointing my knuckles down. This is my first set at 128. Yeah, so sorry, going back to the snatches, the idea of like pulling with my wrist or pointing my knuckles down, it does just help to add on to like a fundamental technical cue, because I think that like if I can do these things with my hands are really like the last piece, right? There's something that I don't need to really think about until the very end. Watch my foot slip on the side angle here, my back foot. But like one thing that knuckles down thing or pulling with my wrists can be viewed as is what my coaches say is he's never actually said those knuckle down phrase to me, but he would say like consistently just remember to kind of curl in the bar at extension. That way the bar is stays a lot closer to you, and then you can kind of keep pulling upright. And that's something that I've arrived at on my own, and then he put into different words. And I think that both of those things create the same outcome, but they are useful in different situations, right? But yeah, like today was pretty good. Like what was that? 103, the 128. That's 231. 231 is better than a lot of my totals were in the past, right? 230 is like a pretty solid total for myself. 245 I think is my best total ever, but I'm like kind of injured, or a little bit less injured than I used to be now. But it's just been a work in progress for a very long time, and I feel like I'm progressing in the right direction right now. I don't know what it's gonna look like next week or the week after that because I'm gonna be in Japan, but I'm excited for that. I'm excited to take a couple weeks off. But for today, real solid training session. I'm super happy with how it went. Thank you for watching. Shoots.